Tipton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Zinke, great to see you. Appreciate you taking the time to be here. And do want to thank you and Deputy Secretary Bernhardt for your efforts in regards to the Anvil Points issue, which was impacting 4 of our counties with the surplus revenues which were paid into the AML funds. And do want to note that particularly appreciative of all of your efforts to be able to bring this to some level of conclusion for these counties. It really is important. Thank you for that. Did want to take the opportunity to be able to visit with you on the fiscal 19 budget. It was coming out. We have a project in Colorado that's in my district, or a portion of my district, the Frying Pan, Arkansas project, which was started in 1962. Part of that project was also the Arkansas Valley Conduit, to be able to deliver fresh drinking water into southeastern Colorado as a result of the EPA mandates under the Clean Water Act. Mr. Secretary, our communities in southeastern Colorado are literally in a no-win situation, and the concern is that was zeroed out in the budget. The EPA has required the Clean Water Act to be employed. The resources are not there to be able to build it. This has been going on since 1962, and in fact, if we probably had taken the money that was spent on the studies, we could have built the project during that period of time. But the concern is they have a no-win. Simply with the mandate out of the EPA, the resources are not there, zeroing this out in the budget. And can you speak to this issue and what we might be able to expect in southeast Colorado?
Well, it is, and I understand the Water District is looking at different innovations. The challenge we have in Bureau of Reclamation is this. The initial idea was for the government to step in, make the investments, and then over the period of time, the water users would pay for it, and we would transfer title. Is not transferring title has resulted over time in an enormous amount of infrastructure that we now pay for that we shouldn't. And transferring title, when it's appropriate, will free up money to invest in new projects that the small communities can't afford. That was what the fundamental idea about Bureau of Reclamation was all about. So we find ourselves in systems that have long since paid for themselves on when the initial deal was made, but yet we maintain enormous amount of overhead, maintenance, political battles on it when we should be transferring. That would help Department of Interior, and we have asked in the budget for a title transfer authority to be given, and we'll make sure it's appropriate and work with Congress to do it, but there's some projects, if we transfer it, it will free up money to fund exactly what you're talking about, what the intent of the Bureau of Reclamation should be doing.
I appreciate that, and we look forward to working with you. Important issue, obviously, for our district. Next issue, and I still want to be respectful of your time and my colleagues as well. We've introduced legislation, myself and Cory Gardner on the Senate side, to authorize a study by the department to be able to move BLM headquarters to the west. And I appreciate the reorganization plan that you're currently putting together. I'd like to be able to get your ideas on that. I'd be remiss if I did not note that Colorado would obviously be the prime location for you to be able to consider. But can you give us an update on some of your thoughts on BLM relocation?
Where we are in the organization is the map you see. We're that far. And quite frankly, there are bureaus that we think are candidates to move up west because their preponderance of activity is west. BLM, certainly, Bureau of Reclamation. We haven't decided where we go, but I would think what we would do is we would create a metrics on quality of life, good schools, hospitals, accommodation, those type of things, and target cities within these groups for candidates. And perhaps even compete the cities to it. We have 2,600 facilities nationwide, and we're in a lot of towns that people don't think they are, but my concern is making sure we go to a community that is high quality of life, that is affordable for the GS5, GS7, great communities that people that we can compete for our millennials that will want to be there. Colorado certainly, fits that description.
Thank you. I concur with that. So I'll yield back the balance of my time, Mr. Chairman.